Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
The county is reporting its biggest jump in COVID-19 cases in nearly a week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kimberly Hunt. There are 98 new local cases. That brings our total to 1,628. But on the other side, the county estimates about 300 San Diegans have recovered. The county also reported 4 more deaths, bringing our local total to 40. Around the U.S., nearly 25,000 people have now recovered from the virus. When it comes to the nation, the numbers are grim. Deaths have exceeded 16,000 from the virus. My co-anchor Steve Atkinson is joining us now from his home studio with the details. Steve.
Kim, the numbers are climbing, and so are the cases too. More than 464,000 confirmed cases of COVID-19 here in the United States. But again, the number of deaths and the number of cases are in line with what leaders had predicted for this week. And yet, there are signs of hope and inspiration in this country. Here's ABC's Marcy Gonzalez.
Overwhelmed healthcare workers in New York.
Nobody died today in our ER.
Finding reason to celebrate. The number of new COVID-19 cases in that state now steadily falling, even as the death toll there rises.
Despite heartbreaking losses that continue this week in communities from New York to New Jersey to Louisiana, there are signs of progress and hope abounds. It's because the American people are putting into practice the social distancing.
Still concerns with the number of cases growing in other major metropolitan areas, including Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and Philadelphia, as well as in smaller communities across the country. Nearly 2/3 of rural counties are reporting outbreaks of COVID-19. This emergency room doctor in Mississippi says his state already struggles with having enough medics.
I have this image of this tsunami out in the Gulf of Mexico that's about to wash over our state.
With nearly 17 million Americans filing for unemployment in the past 3 weeks, President Trump keeping a major focus on restarting the economy, saying a nationwide testing system may not be needed before much of the country reopens.
We want to have it, and we're going to see if we have it. Do you need it? No. Is it a nice thing to do? Yes.
The president also said there are encouraging signs in the race to develop treatments for the virus, with the FDA now testing nearly 20 of them and even more being prepped for clinical trials. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, the virus is also taking a toll on the U.S. economy. More on that here in just a minute. But first, some very good news tonight from the city of San Diego. City leaders are reporting and have confirmed they will be rescinding the furloughs of all full-time to half-time employees and restoring their pay. They will find other tasks for them to do throughout the city. Kim, back to you.
Yeah, some good news this evening. And workers in more industries are now required to wear face masks. We will put the list on the screen. Today, the county ordered bank employees to wear masks. Also, people who drive the public, that includes MTS, as well as cab drivers and ride shares such as Uber and Lyft. Those industries are in addition to the ones already announced last week: grocery stores, convenience stores, pharmacies, gas stations, and restaurants.
We certainly hope that all San Diegans are adhering to the strong recommendation to have a face covering anytime they leave their house, whether that be to go to an essential service like going to a pharmacy, a medical appointment, or a grocery store, or whether that be going to an essential form of employment. We strongly encourage all San Diegans, anytime they leave their house, to have a face covering.
And there have been some hopeful early signs that the social distancing that we've all been doing is starting to have some positive effect. Well, San Diego Unified School District is estimating the pandemic will set it back $71 million. Well, these costs are beyond what the district originally predicted. $52 million would cover summer school costs. That assumes that every student in the district would take summer school, which is not required. The other $19 million would cover the costs of the rest of the school year. More than 760 people are now calling the San Diego Convention Center home. Mayor Faulkner provided that update today as he unveiled a new partnership that's putting our shuttered libraries to work, making 3D printed face shields for hospital workers.
These face shields are very important. They provide an additional barrier to keep medical staff safe while they are on the front lines. It takes an average of about 2 hours to print using materials that cost about $2.50. That's about 50% below the market price where you can find them. And as we speak, there are 12 3D printers at the Central Library. And those printers have the capacity to make about 50 face shields a day and about 300 a week. They're going to go directly to San Diego hospitals.
Much needed. A teacher at Francis Parker came up with the idea, and soon the Bishop School joined in to make it happen. The hospitals will get the gear free of charge.
I'm definitely going to fight for my child's life. I'm going to fight for my baby girl at home, and it's very, very scary.
She was on a ventilator for 4.5 days. Now this pregnant San Diego mother is recovering from the coronavirus. She spoke with 10 News reporter Anthony Pura about surviving the possibly deadly illness.
It's definitely eye-opening.
From her hospital bed, Ashley Duque is feeling happy, humbled, and thankful. The pregnant San Diego mother is regaining her strength after being hospitalized with the coronavirus on March 26th.
I felt like there was like a herd of elephants sitting on my chest, and I couldn't breathe.
Ashley was 17 weeks pregnant then. She and her husband have a 2-year-old daughter, and as she prepared to face the virus, she knew she had plenty to fight for.
I'm definitely going to fight for my child's life. I'm going to fight for my baby girl at home, and it's very, very scary.
Doctors had to put her under and on a ventilator.
All I remember is being in the room and then them having to call the rapid response team. And within an hour and a half, I was intubated.
She was on the ventilator for 4.5 days until this past weekend when her condition took a positive turn.
I haven't walked and got out of bed in a week, so I'm not quite sure I'm ready to go home, but I might be going home tomorrow.
And her baby?
Every time I get an ultrasound, the baby's dancing and moving, so seems like nothing's happening, and I'm going to have a crazy child come out in September.
Ashley now hopes that her story will bring awareness and encourage others to do their part in stopping the spread of the virus.
The fact that I'm 33 and this happened I'm glad that everybody's able to see the story, to be like, just stay home.
Anthony Pura, 10 News.
We are so happy for her, and Ashley says when she gets out of the hospital, she looks forward to hugging her husband and daughter and then having the baby. After that, she says she may have a beer at the brewery where she works. We hope she enjoys it. And turning now to our weather, rain is falling across parts of the county. This is video from South Park of soaked streets and the steady rainfall. Part of the I-15 northbound is shut down near the 8 after a semi jackknifed in the middle of the road. Luckily, no one was hurt. 10 News meteorologist Angelica Campos tracking how long this rain will last. Angelica.
Hi, Kim. It's been nonstop for hours, and we're expecting the rain to continue overnight. I want to show you what's happening. Our latest storm system is finally making its way east. The only problem is that it's very slow moving, and it's now parked just over Southern California. So we keep this flow, and the moisture that it picks up over the ocean basically just brings more rain, and is going to stay very close to that low. So this is what it looks like on satellite and radar. There's a little bit of snow in our mountains, but certainly heavy rain. It is steady all over the county, starting with this wide view, but let's zoom into the North County. You see it there stretching in San Marcos, getting a little bit lighter in Oceanside, but it's about to pick back up. Also in Rancho Santa Fe, moving out of the Del Mar area and then closer to San Diego. This area, actually, Mission Valley, San Diego, is under a flash flood warning. I'll show you the flood stage and also how high the San Diego River will rise and what to expect as we go into tomorrow.
And we're open, San Diego is a commitment from ABC 10 News to tell stories of local restaurants and businesses which are fighting now more than ever to make it in San Diego. 10 News anchor Lindsay Pena introduces us to the taco truck owner who says he'll feed anyone who's hungry, no matter what.
The Kyrios food truck at the corner of El Cajon and Felton Street is famous for their fish tacos.
There you go. Thank you. Thank you.
Owner Christian Martinez only has help some days from family members now. He had to let go of his staff.
Well, like everybody else, you know, we just couldn't believe what was going on. You know, we thought everything was going to be like 1 week or 2 weeks.
But the stay-at-home order remains in place.
Hola,
And Martinez has been working 15 hours or more just to stay afloat. He calls this a community food truck with plenty of regular customers, but unfortunately business has dropped by about 75%.
And we understand it's because most of them are either laid off or furlough or they're just not working at all.
As for him, he says as long as he's healthy and able to work, he will.
I can't stop working. This is my only support, you know? This is pretty much where I get the money from, you know, for myself and for my family.
And even though his own income has taken a major hit, Martinez says right now it's not about profit, even posting on his Facebook page that anyone who needs food will get it at his truck.
If you know anybody that has a necessity and that doesn't have anything at all to eat, I don't mind 2-3 fish tacos, you know, but trust me, they're gonna go home with something in their stomach.
All the while knowing this too will pass.
I know that eventually it's gonna pay off because, you know, when you were blessed, now it's time to bless somebody else.
With this edition of We're Open San Diego, I'm Lindsay Pena.